Assalamu alaikum everybody. What's happening? It's night. It's 16 hours 19 minutes for the record. It is the 27th day, Saturday, September 2025. So the previous video, so almost an hour. So now I'll just give you kind of a recap. I ended the last video. I was talking about my energy device because I believe I am the subject of being a targeted individual. Why? Well, we have energy crises, right, in North America and Europe, right? We're now under Agenda 21 and the climate hoax, so to speak, and essentially the global boiling, right? And if you look in the net zero and what it is all about, essentially there's something called environmental social governance credit, carbon credit. So a polluting country such as China, responsible for over 25% of the global greenhouse gases or emission, right? Which again, when you look at the data, only 13% is actually residential market. The rest is commercial, small business, industrial, and essentially industry, commercial, and transportation, right? So between transportation and industry is roughly 75%. 75%. So again, I am the entrepreneur, solopreneur engineer, right, inventor, chief inventor, and graduate of aerospace electronics system design engineering right here at the heart of the nation capital, Carleton University, class 2009. And by 2021, I had made the conscious free will decision and choice to basically leave the corporate world behind after 15 plus of years of cumulative career experience across different market verticals and industry and wide application and wide industries and application domain, right, from telecommunication or telecom, right, to semiconductor, automotive, consumer grade, as well as medtech, IoT, drones, defense, you name it, the whole shenanigan. I was working at a company called Design First right here, one of the prestigious and leading design firm for electronics hardware product development. So if you're the entrepreneur in the United States of America, well, clearly you have and you've been coming to Design First, you likely have had the opportunity to interact with AJ, right, Ahmed Jr., the prime engineer, senior engineer responsible to taking your idea from concept, right, from your head. You have this idea, say you need a drone parachute, or you need a system, or you need perhaps a UVC disinfecting light box, right, or a streaming device that basically to study sleep apnea, and the list goes on. This is just like not even the tip of the iceberg we're scratching here when it comes to my experience, collective experience. So 2023, basically, I had now gone through divorce. By 2021, 2022, we finalized because my, unfortunately, for my ex-wife, she does not see the value and the vision of me wanting to start my own business in the energy space. And essentially, 2023, I started posting on LinkedIn because I had been a member on LinkedIn as a platform, right? It's a white-collar VIP club, so STEM graduates, so scientific, technology, medical marketing, and engineering, so to speak. And it's called white-collar for a reason. White-collar. You're not wearing a blue collar. You're not a worker man, in the trenches. You're a white-collar. So you're the guy in the office, perhaps, and you have a gadget computer. And yes, I worked in the heart of the semiconductor industry and the high-tech world, so I understand a thing or two about what I'm talking about, backed up by my track record of experience, subject matter experts. So now in 2023, I started posting on net zero. I've been doing my research and better understanding the numbers and how the carbon tax basically is levied. And now it's basically CFR, which stands for Clean Fuel Regulation, right? They have scrapped carbon tax for in lieu for a new name, CFR, which is again Clean Fuel Regulation. And roughly now we are paying, I believe, $95 per metric ton, MTCO2 equivalent. And Canada, when they signed up back in 2012 on the Paris Accord, they arbitrarily used 2005 as a reference point, and at that time, Canada had roughly 732 metric tons, 732 metric tons, 1.5% of the global house emission, greenhouse gases, right? And per capita, we were like, I believe, top 10, like I think. First or second, so roughly by 20 metric ton per capita when you divide, right? And yeah, that's kind of where we are, and essentially you pay carbon tax as per your share of the pollution, which basically results in the burning of what they call fossil fuel, which is nothing but liquid natural gas, LNG, liquefied natural gas, or coal if you're in Alberta, because I've done the analysis on the grid, right? So Alberta grid is roughly 80% fossil fuel, they call, so LNG 64%, and coal is 17%, and you have some renewable bullshit energy, right? Same thing in Ontario. We have the opposite, where 90% is green. They call it green renewable. Why? Because you have nuclear 55%, 25% hydro, so that's like 70%, 10%. Basically 80% gets us to solar and wind, right? 10%, and then the last one is also going to be natural gas, because you need peak time dispatchable, right? Fuel, so you can basically cover the peaks, right? So now, which as I entered the solar industry, I was helping in 2022 I was helping my a good friend of mine of over 20 years. We met in university, right? So close to 20 years we've known each other. Now he had been working at large industrial scale projects at PCL, one of the leading construction firm here in Canada, PCL, right? And then 2023, basically, he's doing his own thing as a small business owner, entrepreneur in the solar industry. And he's trying to take advantage of the incentive available under the green home energy incentive. So the city of Ottawa would basically do what? Give you $40,000 free interest loan, right? Interest-free loan, and that is tied to your home as a collateral. Security, that is, because again, you're gonna put solar panels, you cannot put them in the backyard, you must put them on a rooftop. So rooftop, and if you're in the city, you can only basically install solar panels on the available roof square footage that you have. So average home roughly have 1,200 square feet, 3-story townhome or semi-detached. You roughly have between 550 to 650 of square feet available to your roof space. Now, average solar system will basically run you the average of $40,000. That's the basic grid tied. The grid tied means when the grid goes down, your solar system also ceases to operate, because now, even though we have sunshine, you cannot operate the solar system, because now you are going to risk the lineman on the other side for safety reason, but also by design the system does not operate, because technically it's not possible. You need to lock and synchronize to the incoming grid signal, 60 hertz. So that's what we have, 60 hertz. Line 1, line 2, you have 240 volts split phase, but it's line 1 neutral is 120 volts on average, 115, right? So you can actually measure AC voltage coming out of your power outlet, right, the grid. Now, the average home, normally in the old days, it has 60 amp basically service panel. Later on it became 100 amp service panel, and now under the new electrification and a new building code, all new homes are being basically equipped with a 200 amp service panel, so 200 amp max. Well, why? Because you have 40 amp for your dryer, roughly 40 amp for your oven, roughly 40 amp for your EV. Again, not all continuous at the same time, but when you do load calculation and analysis, this is where you basically size your service panel.